Blog Talk Radio.
Yo, what's up, world? It's badass thugging like I usually do, and you better turn it up, bust some speakers out, cause we off the motherfucking cuff. You dig how we do it? Dog Pound Gangsters 2000 and beyond. Black.
Yo, check this out. This is your girl, Cola Vogue, and I'm chilling with my boys right here on Off the Cuff Radio. Cause we off the cuff right now. You dig?
That. What's up? It's your boy Lil Yap from UNLV, bragging up from the river, cooling with my homies and my family at Off the Cuff Radio. Y'all be sure to tune in on Fridays and get the latest scoop and find out what's happening. You heard me?
Tiffany Lavon.
And it's Queen Crazy, your girl's favorite bartender.
And we're from
Sex on the Rocks podcast.
Alright, you're now tuning in to Off the Cuff Radio.
Yeah, because they keep representing that real hip hop. Well, much love.
Alright.
Y'all, this is Miss Irresistible, giving a shout out to the livest show on Friday nights Off the Cuff Radio. And I'm live from the 704. Make sure y'all tune in for the blazing hot music.
Hey y'all, this is Stacey Lachey, giving a shout out to King Eric and Off the Cuff Radio.
What's shaking, y'all? This is the Grand, one half of Lost Cause and 1/3 of that drive time thing. Sending my love to the homies over at Off the Cuff Radio. Tune in every Friday night for some real deal hip hop conversation. These dudes are the connoisseurs of this thing. You already know what it is. BX Stand Up, HUD City, we're shaking. Peace.
Yo, this is Dope Fresh to Dine, and y'all tuned in to the most raw, uncut show on radio, the Guillotine Team, Off the Cuff, and yo, Eric, Sandman, off of these clowns' heads.
From KC to LA, we go live, man. Mr.Stinky, Vigilante Squad, Killer City. I'm bi-coastal, word of mouth on the kid, yo. Got a lot on my plate, homie, just wait though. Extended ladder on my waist and I'll let it go. Pull the pin out the grenade, I'm about to blow. Yeah, I'm self-made, reppin' the show me shade. Independent in this business, so I'm self-paid. Who they came to see, don't act like y'all don't know. Mr. Stinky going live on a stage show. I touch Chi-Town, city of the body bag. Killers in traffic, oh God, this city's been had. The whole club was on mollies, I'm sweating so bad. But I'm puffing on a Cuban with lean in my glass. Slow dancing on the couches and grabbing on ass. Red bone in my face, all I'ma do is smash. I'm no brakes, I'm all gas. You say you one of them slick niggas that be talking fast. Stop frontin', if you ain't sucking, I'm walking on past. Reckless eyeballing, I put a charge on your nasty ass. She say you got me, here's the keys to my S-Class. Wake up in the morning eating breakfast and discussion cash. I'm bi-coastal, word of mouth on the kid, yo. Got a lot on my plate, homie, just wait though. Extended ladder on my waist and I'll let it go. Pull the pin out the grenade, I'm about to blow. Yeah, I'm self-made, reppin' the show me shade. Independent in this business, so I'm self-paid. Who they came to see, don't act like y'all don't know. Mr. Stinky going live on the stage show. Orange County, California, they love me like cook food. On stage with the bunnies, they love me to do. I'm fly as they come, they love me like Jamaican rum. Reppin' on stage, speakers busting out your eardrum. I'm in a white fur coat, they say that I'm dope. I'm controlling the mic like a dog on a rope. Colombian neckties, my enemies despise. My name's in the game like the yeast all rise. Stab them in the neck, element of surprise. Check it for yourself, my numbers tell no lies. You was getting high, focus on the drama. I was at the bank, putting in the comma. That's right, next flight, the Bahamas. 10 racks on the table, St. Thomas, St. James, St. Croix, St. Catherine, Jamaica, oh boy. I'm bi-coastal, word of mouth on the kid, yo. Got a lot on my plate, homie, just wait though. Extended ladder on my waist and I'll let it go. Pull the pin out the grenade, I'm about to blow. Yeah, I'm self-made, reppin' the show me shade. Independent in this business, so I'm self-paid. Who they came to see, don't act like y'all don't know. Mr. Stinky going live on a stage show. Back it up like a brand new crew. Come through your neighborhood and just cut off the roof. That's your man's on my command, he shoot. We from the projects, 21 guns to loot. Saw my face in the magazine, my response was yes. That's me. I'm too trill and I never hold my breath. Laughed in my article, couldn't explain the rest. Called me from the pen and said, Stinky, you's a mess. I heard they asked people in Atlanta, have they ever met me? A lot of people in Atlanta never forget me. South Beach, I par with my peep. I really got beef, so I war in these streets. I'm a beast, they screaming stinky in the east. They trying to kite some core links, I guess I'm coming home in a freak. About to be legendary like the Egyptian Sphinx. Little trick, I'm the shit, that's why they call me Stink. I'm bi-coastal, word of mouth on the kid, yo. Got a lot on my plate, homie, just wait though. Extended ladder on my waist and I'll let it go. Pull the pin out the grenade, I'm about to blow. Yeah, I'm self-made, reppin' the show me shade. Independent in this business, so I'm self-paid. Who they came to see, don't act like y'all don't know. Mr. Stinky going live on a stage show. Shout out to all my real niggas. For real. All my niggas in the fast, man. And all my niggas in the grave, man. I'm still right here, nigga. Stay far away from bullshit that don't concern me. Next nigga get in my business, he gon' need a gurney. Run him like a traffic light, out of mind, out of sight. The OG still flying kites. Who gon' get knifed tonight? Think he got his paper right. Boy, don't believe the hype. Taking over rap, that's right. Mix the Henny with the Sprite. Cleaner than Miami Vice. Slid down your block, no light. Should've took my advice. In the club, nigga, just fist fight. But you was on that extra shit. Now you on the stretcher, bitch. Look me in my eyes, you little fuck, nigga, don't test the kid. I've been homicidal since 13. Go and warn your troops. 13 years old shooting at niggas with my deuce. Now I'm finally frustrated. I know niggas mad I made it. Stunting on your bitch in a 6. We make the suckers hate it. From a rookie graduated. With these flames agitated. Last night I ripped the mic. Goddamn, hella faded. Jewels on, hair's braided. Actor said X-rated. Cops pull me over. They say why your pupils dilated. I'm just trying to make it home. They ask me why I'm packing chrome. State of emergency. Protect my currency. They let me go. Man, we just having fun, man. Summertime. I'm just saying shit, man. Freestyle off the top. I've been doing this for many moons. Knocking off cartoons in the summertime madness. Dirt on my name with a wicked fame. The jacket don't fit. Started busting flames at your game. They yelling I'm sick. Little goons jumping out of bushes. The niggas was thick. Knocking off cartoons, motherfuckers. Y'all can't fuck with this. They must have lied till you cried, till you done died for you. What type of setup all this shit that they try to do? Rumors is fuckery, I warned you not to listen to. Watch me cook this beef like a curry pot of stew. Freeze when you turn cold all through your body like the flu. 2 guns and 4 clips enough to slay your whole crew. Now this back on the block with my team sipping on brews. Looking paranoid, watching the 5 o'clock news. Rumors kept my pockets fat, y'all don't remember that? Called a slimy ass, smoking straight up out the trap. Names I'm not saying to protect the guilty. It's a damn shame, I know his family feel me. Microchip inside of the motorcycle, I'm belling. Federal prosecutor said somebody was telling. In that courtroom, a lot of cussing and yelling. In the storm, I bear arms, I'm not a convicted felon. I don't even do this for y'all corny ass niggas, man. I do this for the fans, man. Alaska, Costa Rica, Hawaii, Jamaica, Miami, New York, Cali. Just name a few. The bitches that love me, my white fans, my black fans, my Mexicans, my Puerto Ricans, Asian. Nigga, I got fans in Serbia. I've been all around the world, you bitch ass niggas. Okay, live from the Android phone, bullshit is going on. They kidnapping little kids in front of their home. Police keep killing blacks, the world looks past that. But all they think about is shaking ass and smashing that. Lazy motherfuckers smoking weed and selling crack. Better watch your health or you'll be next with a heart attack. These false prophets is really making a profit. Faking in the church with the Holy Ghost, need to stop it. My record got the truth in the nigga, you need to cop it. Lyrics giving niggas to chill, changing the topic. I am no religion, just let me try to explain. Put some words sticking out of the Bible, that one phrase like I don't want to offend nobody. Knowledge is power. I see y'all out there, man. Shout out to the shooters. Green light. Names have been changed to protect the guilty. Mr.Stinky, nigga!
Yeah, what it do, y'all? It's your boy King Eric the Great. You're now tuned in to episode 339 of Off the Cuff Radio, sponsored by Screwball Radio, Buddy Boy Entertainment, Core Financial, Jesse Boutique. Man, we got a big show lined up tonight, man, and it's a pleasure to be chopping it up with y'all. I want to send a big thank you to all the supporters, all the followers. We're going to keep on grinding for y'all. So I got my host, T-Max, with the facts in the building.
What it do, man? It's Monday Night Raw, and it's all free for all, man. OTC up in the building, man. We here, King. We here. What it do? Yes,
sir, man. And you know what's crazy is we usually do Friday night formats, but when you have certain guests that you got to be flexible with, and for this guest here, we had to do the Monday Night Madness episode for him, man, because this guy here, he been putting it down for many, many, many years, man. And he's a legend out there in the Kansas City. And he's still grinding hard, putting out consistent music. And he's a legend out there in the MO. So, without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Stinky, y'all.
Yeah.
What's up? Mr. Stinky coming at you live like a bullet. Y'all got to kind of excuse me because my voice is kind of hoarse. I've been in the studio all week. I've been doing video shoots all weekend. So my voice, I got the lemon and honey going on right now. My voice a little, extra scratchy right now. So we're going to work with it though anyway. We might have should have waited till Friday, but the show must go on like they say. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Great brother, how you doing?
Man.
Oh, man, I'm just chilling, holding it down, man. It's a good time to be alive, man. Strange time, but a good time to be alive. Because the strong will survive, the weak will perish. Ignorance is a poison, and knowledge must nourish, man. We got to all unite. You know what I mean? I ain't about to start preaching none of that. But anyway, yeah.
It's all good, man. Look, Mr. Stinky, this is T-Max from VA. Great to have you on. The couple of shots you have from the clip that we locked and loaded, ready to rock with the beginning of the show, man. I mean, you got an array of arsenal on the genius of, gun grammar, man. I mean, the first track King played, I'm thinking I'm all the way in California, somewhere doing a little two-step. Like they say, gangsters don't dance, we boogie. Man.
Hell yeah. Which one was that? That was that bi-coastal? Which one was that?
Yeah,
bi-coastal?
Yeah. You know what?
I freestyled that joint too.
That was done by the big
I
homie
freestyled that
West
joint,
Coast
man. Yeah, yep. Produced by West Coast Stone. Yep.
I knew the claps were familiar and whatnot. I was like, the fact that you got West Coast Stone, and we had him as a guest last year on the show a couple years back,
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Coast Stone got them slaps, man. I got another one by West Coast Stone called War. I might want to check that one out. I'm out there playing with the chops in the street all on the video. Just stunting, having a good time.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, where you're from, how you got started, who inspired you,
Oh, man.
Go ahead.
That's a lot. So I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. I've been doing music for years, man, my whole life. You say what inspired me. I mean, just hip-hop itself. I mean, it started off a dominant black culture. Now it's like a worldwide thing. But I think with me, ever since I was a kid, ever since I seen Michael Jackson perform, I always wanted to be a star. I always wanted to be somebody big. I'm an attention whore. I love females. I love people looking at me. When I was in school, I was a class clown. I just always got to have that eye on me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my life. That's who I am. Even if I wasn't ever getting paid or sharing the stage, I would still make music. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, that track by Coastal, before I forget, I freestyled that track.
I didn't even write that down. I was vibing off that West Coast stone beat, and I just started speaking what was on my mind. Might have did a few punch-ins, but, it still was from the heart and off the top. Nothing written, nothing thought about, just coming off the heart. So, But, yeah, music is my life. I feel like this is a part of me, So I feel like I am the instrument. Like some people play drums, the piano, all that guitar. I believe I am the instrument. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and I think
to answer that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people got to understand, in terms of, not only, jumping on the track, because a lot of times, because we got so much to get to, a lot of times people think that, rapping is just this thing where you just talk on music. But I'm like, no, there are many nuances. You have to have your cadence, you have to have your bar count, you got to have your flow. I mean, you got to, a little improvisation and innovation of how you pronounce your words. I mean, you got to find the beat that's right for you. This is a multifaceted science that is not simplified by any means. This is complex in terms of really building it. Because everybody starts out in terms of really, just trying to find their way in it. From when you first started and you wanted to take this seriously and make it a career, how long was it in terms, because listening to those tracks, I mean, the punchlines you had were just otherworldly outstanding. I mean, I would have sworn these were.
With me, I feel like because look, I've been all around the world doing music, you know what I'm saying? And I'd have my bad times, good times. I feel like with me, I'm kind of like cigar and wine. I get better with age. So I just feel like I keep getting better. It's kind of crazy. Some people, because I stay hungry and I stay trying to perfect my craft. You know what I'm saying? Because there was times when my raps used to be whack and all that, but I never gave up because the stuff I rap about is real. Like even when the rhymes wasn't too good, it was still real stuff. Because look, people felt. I'm gonna tell you a little something about me. I was 14 years old in jail for murder as a juvenile. I beat it. I was 16 years old in jail for murder, juvenile, beat it. Then I can't really, some things I can't speak about without a lawyer present, but now I was 17 years old, and I ended up going to the county, the big house, as far and charged for first-degree murder, where they dismissed the case because of lack of evidence. But I spent 14 and a half months there fighting the case, and I'm not saying it to try to say I'm just so gangster, but I'm just letting you, if you like gangster rap and you listen to it, you might want to listen to me because I lived it. And, and sometimes I got a message in there telling people why they shouldn't be doing all this gangster shit, because people don't really, in these days and times, there's too many cameras, you probably won't make it out like I did. And I feel like God spared my life, not because I'm so gangster or so smart on beating the cases. I feel like he had a bigger purpose for me. So,
a lot
but that
of
stuff I rap about is real stuff. Like, I got friends that actually died on stage rapping, died at concerts, died leaving the concerts. Like I think I'm the only rapper I know that in my group, the Vigilante Squad, there's 7 dead rappers in my group. 8 dead people on my CD. So it's really, really, really real. So I don't want nobody to think that this is really real. So
right.
Hey,
I had to change my life.
We also you need to also let people know about the Get Down in Kansas City, man, because a lot of people would have the assumption of Kansas City is, is like a hick state that's known for the Kansas City.
Hell no. Let me. Man. Everything that New York and LA was doing, Kansas City was doing it probably, 3-4 years later. We was right up on it. And when hip hop broke out and everything broke out, Kansas City was doing the same thing. Niggas from Cali was coming and invading it. Niggas from New York was coming and invading. Kansas City, I'm chasing right now. Matter of fact, if you probably look at a federal database right now, Kansas City probably number 7 most killing in America right now. It's crazy. It's always been like that, though. I got 189 dead homies. How could it not be a violent place? You know what I'm saying?
Stinky, I wanted to say this while I got this on my mind, too, because we got to give our listeners a little bit of history about Kansas City in terms of how real it is. There is something. Yeah,
number 1 barbecue in America, all that.
Yeah.
Gates Barbecue, number 1 barbecue in America, all that. I mean, home of the Mafia. The Mafia was coming through there, running back and forth from Chicago to Kansas City. Right now, we the number 1 football team in America, home of the Chiefs.
Yeah, go.
You know what I mean? Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
Home of the infamous Tech Nine, who I actually got about 16 songs with Tech Nine too. Number one underground rapper in the world. You know, shout out to Tech Nine. I mean, what they want to know about Kansas City, it's real, man.
Yeah, and also too, for a lot of people that may know the streets, you know, like we do, there's a little something called the 8 Ball Alliance between, you know, that a lot of people may not be aware of in terms of in the early 90s, how, you know, the Crips, you know, and the, you know, how the Vice Lords and the Bloods joined up and how the GDs and the Crips joined up with each other. For those that don't know about it, look it up, 8 Ball Alliance, and that was founded in Kansas City.
Yeah, people don't. It's a lot of things people don't know. Kansas City is a real old mafia gangster town.
It
you
is.
know, it's kind of small, but not really because there's so many suburbs connected. But Kansas City kind of small, but it's very hip. You know what I mean? Like people, they know what's going on. You know, it's a lot of people. You know, in Kansas City got a lot of swag. You know, people got a lot of diamonds and shit in their mouth, nice jewelry, nice cars. I don't know where they get this country hick stuff from. No, it ain't like that.
Well, you know, it's funny
like
too. Yeah, you know, it's funny too because you know, with Missouri, you know, back in the day, you know, our first real introduction to Missouri hip hop, you know, at large for the country, you know, was Nelly, you know, coming out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And that was really, you know, where a lot of people really, but like you said, in terms of the elements of it, you know, in terms of hip hop, it's always been there. I mean, one thing about it is the type of honesty you bring in addition to the creativity is refreshing in hip-hop because obviously you were involved in some things that we're not going to press you about at all. That's not what we do on this show. But the one thing about it is when you realize, when you found, you know, but that's something that we see so many rappers trying to talk about how they did this, that, and the other. And, we a lot of rappers have been called into question in terms of their street reputation. What do you have to tell people about trying to play that front in the context of, you know, trying to perpetrate a fraud out there, you know?
I got a few things I can say to the people. I got a few things. Mostly when I talk to the youth because the old niggas they should know by now and they already either doing life in prison, dead, or kicking back and they learned their lesson. But to the youth, I mean, what I want to say about me is I never was a gangbanger, and I had 3 murder cases and wasn't never a gangbanger. Just being involved, just being around, just with a town that small and everybody, you know, people just a lot of flaming going on, a lot of shooting, a lot of fighting, a lot of drugs, you know, and ain't a lot of things to do like in the big city. So everybody just selling dope and killing each other. You know what I mean? It's just robbing, killing, crazy stuff. But I want to tell all to the young niggas that think that crime is really cool. Let me say something to you young niggas. Let's say it's 3 niggas right now. Y'all go do whatever y'all gonna do. But remember this: one out of them 3 gonna tell on you. Y'all get caught. When one of y'all get caught, y'all all the niggas you think is cool, your cousins, your friends, your brothers, they're gonna tell on you. So right before y'all get ready to do the next little thing y'all get ready to do, just know he gonna tell on. Look at that man right in his eye. He gonna tell on you. They gonna tell on you.
Yeah.
That's the people that told on me was the people that was with me every day. The people volunteered to tell on me. Wasn't even there on the scene, just trying to get some tips, hotline money, or trying to, you know, just I don't know, get rid of their cases, whatever they was doing. But people gonna tell, man.
And
that chick that you love, she gonna smash all your homies. She gonna write you for a minute, send a little bit of money, and then it's over. The niggas, and she gonna end. Oh no, my phone's trying to ring. No, I can't have it. Hello, yeah, my phone was trying to ring. Sorry about that. I should have had it on airplane mode.
Go ahead.
And then y'all still there? And then she gonna sleep with the ops. She gonna sleep with the ops. All that stuff is gonna mess your mind up, man. And people don't. Just before you get ready to pull the trigger or do some time, you get ready to think of doing some kind of crime. Just think about, can I really do 10 for this? Can I really lay down and do 15 for this? Lock yourself in a closet maybe for 6 hours without no water, no cell phone, and just sit there in the darkness. Can you do this for 10 years? And if you can't do that for 7 hours and just in silence, don't ever think about going to jail.
They can't do it for 10 minutes, let alone 10 years.
Look, Look, this, and our co-host, Sandman, he's originally from the Bronx and he moved to Kansas City, and he's loving it out there in terms of the atmosphere. But he's told us it's real. Matter of fact, this, look, and I'm a big Fargo head, from the movie to the FX series. FX made their series this year, Fargo. They set it in Kansas City with Chris Rock playing the lead. And after watching the first 2 episodes last night, I was like, damn, they really capture this shit for real.
Yeah.
This is set in, and they're setting this season in the 1950s. I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, y'all got it out there. Going back to, your writing, Stinky, it's like when you're talking about, even when your raps, weren't so good, how long did it take you in terms of writing, in terms of the process? Was it you were a quick study in terms of really grasping the craft of the art of rhyme, or did it take you a few years to really polish it?
It took me probably 10 years to start rapping better, because I was, halfway in the streets, halfway like I didn't care as much about my craft. I just was spitting real shit I've been through. But then I had to realize, wait a minute, you got to start caring. You got to start really. And then I was trying not to say a lot of stuff I lived. I was trying not to say names to protect the guilty. And I was, you know what I mean? Like, some stuff I couldn't rap about. I had to sugarcoat it, change the story up a little bit so I wouldn't get indicted and all that kind of. So it was like, I don't know, man. It took a long time for me. And then I used to be kind of, because I don't want to blame it no more, but probably used to be like ADHD or whatever, just I couldn't stay focused on a rhyme. I'll write some bars, and I'll get to doing something else, answering the phone, or run down here and bust this server, do this, and fuck this bitch down in the back of the car, do this. I was just wild. Like my raps would be all over the place, because I would go out to the club, come back, write the rap. I might be high when I started and drunk when I finished the verse, then the next day sober, and it just is all over the place. But now everything's more, I actually don't even write no rhymes or perform if I'm intoxicated at all. Everything is just natural, because I realize my talent is natural, and I'm better when I'm natural. So,
Okay, Jay-Z Jr. We see you went to the Jay-Z school of and Biggie school of keeping it in your head and then dropping it, because those two were always famous for the fact that they never wrote rhymes.
Yeah, I think that Jay-Z's, the way he do it is a little different. I think he say it to himself all day and remember the shit, like every 4 bars or something like that, and he remember the shit. Me, I just when the beat come on, like I try to do it that way too. I try to ride down the street, be thinking about something. When I get to the studio, I ain't that same person. My mind's on something else. So however I'm feeling, and I done lived through so much shit, I got so much to talk about. However I'm feeling, it's coming out. Sometimes I don't even know what the subject gonna be. I just start. I'll name the song and do the chorus last. I'll flow and then name the chorus last, and it depends, man. Music is my life. I became one with the energy of music. Period. It's something I'm always gonna do. And now things is really, really getting good. By the way, I live in Las Vegas now, and things are really, really getting good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look.
I'm in Vegas. I had to get to a bigger city. I outgrew Kansas City. Shout out to my people. I love y'all all. Keep supporting it. But I had to get to a bigger level. I had to level up on these motherfuckers, man.
We gotta get you in touch with our man Yalda. We gotta get you in touch with Yalda out there, man. Yalda.
Yeah, link me up with all DJs. Yeah, anybody. Look, I need any connects. I'm out here. I don't really know too many people. It's every day. That's what I'm about. Networking, linking up. I need the DJs. I need them all. I need everybody. Every station. Anybody want to lock in with me? You know what I'm saying? My email address is newstarartist@gmail.com. Again, that's newstarartist@gmail.com. My handles is @real Mr. Stinky. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all good.
Now, I wanted to shoot this to you too, bro. Like, what was your musical influences in getting into reggae?
Oh well, I mean that's a part of my culture anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I descended from. So half of my family's from there, half of my family's from here. So it's a part of my heritage anyway. So ever since I was a little kid, I mean I've always tried to be more like my other side of my people. That's all. So. But I speak Patois fluently, all that shit. Actually, I'm a better reggae artist than rap. You know what I mean? And that's about to be proven in just a second. I got a surprise for y'all. But yeah, so That's the thing. So it was crazy because I was doing reggae music before I was putting out rap songs. It just I always going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Some people don't know because I dropped my first rap album before the reggae stuff, but I was doing reggae shows before I dropped the rap album. It's just always been back and forth. And sometimes I blend the cultures and, you know, I do both, rap and reggae, patois and English, you know, that kind of shit. So it's a blend culture type of thing. So
that it is.
I'm like the link. I'm like the perfect link between Jamaica and America. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Even with the weed thing, I don't want not now, but you know, in the past, I was the link. I was the guy. When you come through from overseas, you better get with me first. So you know how. That's all. You know. And you know, I was kind of forced to learn the patois language anyway because we had to do certain things on phones a lot. So. We try to break up the English as much as possible.
We know
use as much
go.
language we could.
We know how that goes.
Yeah. So the lingo was forced on me. So yeah. But yeah, man. So there's so much going on. What's the next question? Let's keep it moving. My voice is trying to come back. I'm sorry, my voice is gone.
No, you good, brother. You
it's
good,
okay,
man.
it's okay.
But we was doing a lot of observing on your manuscript, man. It also said that you opened up for cats like Cube and Master P, Tech Nine.
Yes, as a kid. Yeah, I was on that box shit when I was 17. I left the county. I said I ain't never coming back to this motherfucker again. They got to carry me in a pine box before I come back to this shit because I ain't supposed to be here. When I get out, I'm gonna start doing all kind of shows. I'll be beating on the shower heads and the doors, rapping for everybody in jail. Tell them, I'm telling you, I'm about to do shit. I got out of jail 2 weeks late. I was fresh, man. Look, 2 weeks out of jail, I opened up for Master P, Biggie Smalls, DOC, MC Breeze. I can't even name all the people back then. Even Lynch back in the day. The Brat. You know, then a few years later after that, E40, Petey Pablo, Be Legit, Sugar T. Just all them old school people. Telly Sale. Matter of fact, even that one radio dude, Big Boy, he was on one of them tours with us. I don't wonder if he even remember me or not. But the dude, the radio dude, Big Boy, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Who be doing the interviews. Yeah, that nigga was on one of the tours with us. He probably wouldn't even. I wonder if he remember me or not. But I done met so many people and seen so much shit and man, I seen so many crazy situations with women and the groupies trying to sue rappers, and I done had so many sexual experiences. Thank God for that. Just from being oh man, I done had a hell of a life. It's been crazy. Oh man, I done put bitches from Serbia on the mountains. I done put bitches from Serbia on the mountains. I done been. I done been to Hawaii 8 times. I done been to Alaska twice doing the music. I just done lived, man. I love life, and you know, and a lot of things is happening. You know.
You talk about Alaska. I'm thinking about Joker the Bail Bondsman. You know, from out there back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
I know him.
Yeah. Okay.
I know him.
Okay.
I know him. So let's see. In 2017, the last time I was in Alaska, I did 3 shows down there in a radio interview, and then I had my homegirl down there, Caribbean Queen. She's from the Virgin Islands, and she was cooking big oxtail and you know whatever curry goat rice, all that shit, ackee saltfish. And he came over and ate, and I met him. We talked. So yeah, I know people, man. I know so many people. By the way, my website is www.mrstinky.store. Make sure you pick up that merchandise. I got the vigilante wear. I got the Mr. Stinky ganja. You know, I got my own strain of marijuana now. So I had a situation where, you know, it's a lot of legal stuff involved with all that. But I got my strain of marijuana. Right. I can't even sell it yet because of the situations. But yeah, it's in the process. It's growing. I had to get a new grower because I had a grower grow it on the medical side in a different state, and now I'm in Vegas. I can't sell it there. I can't sell it back in my hometown, Missouri, because we don't even got no damn dispensaries yet. So I'm here now in a legal state, a recreational state. Everything's growing. I paid $2,000. I just trademarked my ganja name, Mr. Stinky's Ganja. Got the gear popping. So that's going on too. So yeah, make sure y'all support that. I just did a video shoot Friday called Mr. Stinky's Ganja. It's for the actual strand, and I do one more shoot I think tomorrow, and we done with that. I also want people to check out my anime. I don't know if have y'all seen my animation video called No New Friends. Did y'all see that one?
Oh, what?
I got an animation. I got a Grand Theft Auto video right now. It only been out for a month. It's a Grand Theft Auto video, but it's animation. I got chicks on there with big titties, big booties. We all jumping around in the water, going crazy, and it's all animated, and it looks like it's real. It's actually more clear than Grand Theft Auto. So to y'all little kids watching that shit, Mr. Stinky, No New Friends, animated video, and the song's fire, distributed by Empire. So yeah, we just trying to level up, man.
Definitely. There's a lot of coverage, going on with Master P and everybody caught on to the No Limit Chronicles of how he built his empire. And being to him tapping into the Kansas City market that early, and have you two have any conversations? And you spoke about
only thing he told, we was in the bathroom. We was in the bathroom one night, and we actually went over to the other, because people get confused. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, but we went over to Kansas City, Kansas. We did this little show, whatever. We was in the skating ring. We was in the bathroom, and he's the one that told me never sign a record deal. He's the one that told me. He's like, he's like, look, this is how you get $1 million. You sell 100,000 CDs. He said you take 5 cities at 20,000, and you try to sell 20,000 copies in those 5 main cities that you promote, and then that's 100,000 CDs at $10 a pop. That's $1 million. He says you might sell 1 million copies on a record label and might not have 100,000 in royalties off that. He said, you see what I'm saying? So that always stuck in my head. So I was one of those out the trunk niggas. Like I would jump out on people in different states. Just for example, I could be anywhere, Detroit, anywhere, New York, Chicago, I don't care, L.A. I jump out on niggas and I just talk to them. Like, hey, this is what I do. I'm real. Y'all look like some real niggas. Or whoever they was, white, black, Mexican, Chinese. I didn't care. I always was a people person. I talked to the people. I rapped in their face. I played my music, and they gave me money for my CDs. I used to sell CDs like crack. Like for real, like really, really out the trunk. But I think Master P was a major influence of that out the trunk shit. You know?
Well, of course, thinking when we're looking at the history of it, and like I said, King and myself, King's an expert journalist, myself a lifelong hip hop nerd. So we've always gone back. I mean, when we really look at that movement, of course, shout out to the Bay Area, Uncle Short, Too Short. He was one of the first to really pioneer that independent movement, and this was in the early 1980s. There was set the groundwork for what would come in the Bay Area. Of course, rest in peace to the late great Mac Dre. Of course, E40. Shout out to Stick With It. D Shy, Be Legit,
Guess what?
the whole
Guess what? I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead,
but you just made me remember something. I did so much body work. I don't want to never forget things like this. I got a song with Mac Dre. I got one of the last songs that Mac Dre did before he died. Mac Dre died in Kansas City, Missouri. And I hate that happened because he was so cool. But
the situation.
I got a song with Mac Dre. I got a song with Mac Dre called In the.
Go ahead.
Oh, these Bluetooth. Hold on. Wait, hold on. This damn radio phone. Don't hang up. Let me shut all this other stuff down. Y'all still there?
Yeah, we here.
Y'all still there?
We here.
Okay, cool.
We here.
Yeah, so the name of the song with me and Mac Dre is called In the War. And it's one of the last songs he did before he died in Kansas City. And when you speak on Fat Tone, let me tell y'all something that people don't really know. Do you know that y'all wouldn't know who Fat Tone was if it wasn't for Mr. Stinky? I put Fat Tone in the rap game. I put Fat Tone on his first CD. People don't know that. Fat Tone was brung to me as a little juvenile from Chuck Littlejohn. He brung him to me like, this little dude, wow, whatever. And I put him on his first shit. Not proud of it, but just setting the record straight because people don't know who's who and what's what. But I put him on his first shit. That nigga come from me. He used to be a vigilante. Until he turned kind of crooked and did what he did, and that's his own, whatever. That was they all, I ain't got to do with that stuff. But yeah, he comes from me.
Right.
People from the Bay, they kind of know it. A lot of people know it. You know what I'm saying? I got songs with C-Bo. I got songs with Tupac's Outlaws, Young Noble, from Tupac's Outlaws. We did that together in Atlanta. I bust up in their studio and shit, and one of my dudes, shout out to Super Slip, he was like, man, you got to hear this little nigga right here, man. And they came in and I did a song with Edie Amin was there, Tupac's cousin, all the outlaw niggas was there. And I You know, I got my little feature with Noble. I mean, I do music, man. I network with people. You know, I got let me see. I done did shows with Mac Mall. I got a song with JT the Bigger Figure. Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That nigga put out the Game's first album. I got a track with JT the Bigger Figure. He know me. Yep. Matter of fact, the nigga still owe me a beat. It's all good. Let me see who else. I done did shows with Yuck Mouth. I done opened up for Yuck Mouth. FedEx from the Mob Figures, which is the Jack's best friend from the Mob Figures. He on one of my albums. Name of that song.
Yeah.
That song's it's on my album. I can't think of the song right at the moment. I can't think right. Oh, guess who else I got a song with from the Bay? I got a song with Messy Marv. It's me. Matter of fact, it's me, Messy Marv, Fat Tone, and Looney Corleone. Y'all remember when Looney Corleone used to be popping back in the day? I don't know if y'all know about him. Sacramento. Yeah. So it's just imagine though. Me, Fat Tone, Looney Corleone, and motherfucking Messy Marv. It's called KC to California. It's a wild one. We cocking straps on there. You hear pistols going off, glass breaking. We in there going in on it. You know, so.
Dude,
but yeah, I mean, I work.
Dude, do you realize that we're like sitting here like dumbfounded because the legends you just mentioned in like those 5 minutes is like people don't even get half of that, and you got all of that over a course of years. I mean, I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan. Shout out to the Romper Room. Yeah.
Let's name another legend group that people forgot about. Y'all know about J-Bo and Sean Paul from the Youngbloods, don't y'all?
Yeah. 85.
Okay, so I got about 5 songs with J-Bo from the Youngbloods. Me and Sean Paul, we pretty cool. We used to hang out, kick it, fuck, you know, we do what we do. You know, with the chicks in Atlanta, have a good time. You know what I mean? You know, I used to live in Atlanta from 07 to 09. I was in Atlanta for 2 years straight. Partied every night. Lost a lot of sleep. Damn near messed with my health. But let me tell you something. You run around the A every night for 2 years, you can imagine the stars I met, the people I saw, the things I done. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just crazy, man. It's been a good life, man. Shout out to everybody.
Okay, so we got all right. So you know my next question is going to be, when are we going to see the motherfucking book? When are we going to see the motherfucking book?
When are we going to see the film coming?
You know what? That's crazy. I don't have the answer for that right now. You know what I mean? I don't have the answer.
Because this is too good to not be in pages.
But I'm a person that need to write a book because the things I've been through, the things I've seen, I mean, like, if we was on some spiritual level, I would tell you some other. I even had some supernatural experiences and some stuff that if there was a new Bible written today, I would probably be in it. And I don't want to go into that right now because my voice all hoarse and I'll start yelling. But I'm telling you, I done lived a life that I can't even. I love this life. I wouldn't want to live it no other way. It's just been crazy, you know. I mean, some of the mistakes I wish I wouldn't have made, but yeah, you know. I'm here, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, one thing about it is, you know, the level of commitment you put into the work, because you always maintain a certain ethic in terms of what you did. But, I mean, nigga, you in Vegas, you in Atlanta. I went to Atlanta when I was younger, and we drove past Atlanta. And I was about to tell my dad, stop the car and just leave me over there for like 12 hours, and I was 17. Because, you know, Southern is an all-girls school, so I was like, and I'm an out-of-town dude and young, man, I was ready to act the fool out there.
Yeah, man.
I'm about to be, you know what I mean? But we know about Atlanta in terms of that party culture. You know, in terms of what you found in, you know, the party scene and, you know, because in terms of Kansas City and then Atlanta, and then we'll get to Vegas. But what was Atlanta like in terms, because a lot of people, when we look at the ascent for a lot of local artists who aspire to get into the game, you know, me and King talk about this all the time on the air, off the air with our guests. There's a certain level of an infrastructure of entertainment that has to be set. Atlanta's been rocking it for over 35 years, 40 years. So this is a situation where they have all, I mean, when you mention Atlanta, you're talking about Peachtree, you know, you're talking about we know about what happened with the Gold Club. For those who don't know about the Gold Club in the NBA, punch it up on on Bing and just read the stories. If you know, you know. Because there was a situation, or was it the Platinum Club? It was one of them. It was one of them precious notes. I think it was called the Gold Club. But anyway, I mean, with the original Magic City with Mr. Magic, of course, I'll shout out to GQ magazine a couple years ago. They did a great video with Future where they talked about the music scene, which was also simultaneously about how Future got on in the game in terms of, of course. Shout out to GZ, the whole Corporate Thugs Entertainment.
Yeah, I met that nigga twice too. I met him twice up there too. Yeah. What was strange about Atlanta is that every time I met people that was famous, they would always think they knew me, and it was so strange. Like I remember when I first met GZ, he's like, "Hey man, where I know you from? Hey man, where you from?" And I'm thinking, damn, I don't know this nigga, but I don't want to say. I'm just looking at him. I was trying to figure out what's my next move. I don't want to fake like I knew the nigga or he knew me, but I was just trying to project my spirit onto him to try to lock in with him. But he was doing a big autograph signing at Best Buy, so I couldn't really. Then I seen him again when I was with some people that knew him and knew me, and we was talking, and it was right after all that, all that Gucci, man, all that kind of stuff. So he was kind of moving a little paranoid and whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You want to hear something kind of crazy about Atlanta? I lived with Frankie for about 5 days. I had a 4-bedroom house. I had lost my damn house in Atlanta. Worst came to worst, things happened, and moved in with crazy ass Frankie. Keisha Cole mama. You know how I ain't even got to explain how crazy that might have been. But yeah, shout out to Frankie. She believed in me though. She always said, "You know what, nigga? You're gonna be famous, nigga. Look at me, nigga. Get on your knees and pray to God, motherfucker. You gonna, she was she crazy. She's like, she said, I know things. You're gonna be famous one day. Just remember I told you that. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. When I hear stuff like that, I always. Look at it as a sign, a message from the Most High.
Them Oakland women as wild as they say, man, because Keisha from Oakland.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't get that kind of experience, so I did. So when you say wow, what you mean? I knew they were ghetto as a motherfucker, but we didn't get into the Texas. We didn't get into the Texas size and all that stuff. So.
Oh no, because Oakland has always been known as being that wild area. Shout out to
they wild.
Oakland.
They seem real gangster. Yeah. They seem to be very gangster and about it and all that.
Yeah, shout out to Marshwood. Shout out to the Dubs. Shout out to Seminary.
Shout out to MC Hammer. I was in Hollywood one night. MC Hammer, that nigga just took a liking to me, too. I was just sitting there one night. We hung out for about 5 hours. The nigga ended up buying me a hotel room. The hotel room was $1,200 a night. It was only $5 bucks. He brought 6 rooms. I said, damn. Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, let me step in another room. Is the connection going out?
No, you good.
No, we here. We can hear you.
Okay. But, yeah, MC Hammer, he took a liking to me, too. We was out in L.A. one time. He bought, it was like 5 of us, and he bought like 6 rooms. Every room was like $1,200. I don't know why. I'm like, man, this man spent a lot of money. But we talked. We sat there and hung out for about 5 hours, man, just talking about all kind of stuff. I got to busting the reggae for him. He started playing these instrumental beats, and it was crazy because I had my little moment in time because I just grew up listening to MC Hammer. Then I looked up, this nigga was on the table thing dancing to an instrumental beat while I'm doing reggae. And I'm just tripping like, God damn. In my mind, I'm like, nigga, you over performing with Hammer pretty much at this pool party. Like, how did this even happen? Just got a lot of good moments. But speaking of L.A., let me share something with y'all. Y'all know I got a song with Nipsey Hussle, right?
What? We need to hear it. We're here for all. We're here.
We gonna need that.
I got a song with Nipsey Hussle. We did way back in, what was that? 12 or 13. It's 2012, 2013. But it's on the internet. It's called Looking Good. So, you know what I'm saying? It's on my Spotify page. It's on my iHeart station. Somehow Pandora rejected it because of the quality of the music. Because the people, they didn't mix it down professionally. But it's on YouTube, all that stuff. And it's on my iHeart station, Spotify, Tidal, all platforms except my Pandora station. But, Nipsey Hussle, man, it was crazy. He had came to a place called Lawrence, Kansas, and he was on that tour with the Game. Y'all remember when all that was going on?
Yeah.
And my partner Mankind, he drove up there and locked in with him and drove him back to Topeka, Kansas. It's another little small town. Little gang-banging Kansas state, crazy drug. It's like a drug-head, crazy little state. Niggas just killing each other. You've never probably heard of in your life. Topeka, Kansas. It's the capital of Kansas. They shooting, killing, smoking water, smoking that they smoking that bombing fluid. They killing each other. They on that meth. They going crazy, robbing. It's a wild little town. But I had a lot of fans there, and so we got. They pulled the shit. Nipsey and them. They pulled. It was him and Copy Supreme, and they pulled that tour bus up, and they was with Steve LaBelle. And they was with one of Sean Kingston's cousins. And, and they pulled up. They came in that motherfucker, and niggas spent about 6 hours with us. He playing video games, talking. And I got a chance to tell Nipsey something. We had a real talk about, the origins of my people and his people and all that, and just different things that we think about God and the world. And I remember telling him I think he's going to be the next Snoop Dogg, and he just was kind of like, thanks or whatever. But, yeah, man, really met the nigga, really talked to the man, and I felt that God presence on him, too. I felt the same presence on Nipsey Hussle I felt when I met Damian Marley. I said, damn, this is something about Nipsey. It's like a different spirit. I can't really explain what I'm trying to say. It's something else going on inside there. You know what I mean? Like, I can't explain it. When you stand next to him, you kind of feel it. So, yeah.
And you can tell what it is. It's not nothing phony about dude, because you can tell we all part of this business, and you can tell by energy alone that even though if a guy's talented, he got a messed up vibe or he's just an asshole. But with Nipsey, you could tell he was solid off the gate, because he'll give the little guy a break as well.
Yeah.
What was it like talking to Nipsey in terms of, by this time, because Nipsey still wasn't the Nipsey that everybody knew. Now, me and King knew about him because we knew about Nipsey going back years in terms of that independent hustle. Shout out to XXL Magazine 2009 when they did the freshman issue and he made the cover. And I've been following Nipsey for years. Yeah,
I remember that.
And it's like, you just had, like you said, because I remember a couple of years earlier, when Nipsey was in the Show and Prove section, with the big Malcolm X, the Cuban link with the Malcolm X shank piece, and it's like, but you just knew looking at him that this kid was going to be special, and then you just see how he was just moving in terms of that independent hustle, in terms of just getting his stuff out and moving. I mean, what was it like to just watch him in terms of watching him work at that age, in terms of just really seeing, and of course he was taken away from us way too soon, but what did you see with him in terms of just his ethic and just how he was really, polishing and moving along with his craft?
You know what? When I was in Atlanta, when I left Atlanta, somebody had told me I had talked to somebody from Sony. He was weird. I talked to an industry guy from Sony. I can't even remember his name.
Yeah,
he was telling me about Nipsey Hussle, and I was like, I don't know who that is. Who is that? It was like Nipsey Hussle. They were saying he's next to blow. This was way back, like in 2010 or 2011. I'm like, who is this? I'm like, who is this Nipsey Hussle person? But so then I went to Alaska. That was my first time in Alaska. I remember I was in Alaska about to leave that last week, and I looked on the TV, and I see him in that video, that Hustle video, and I was like, and I was just watching it, and I was like, damn, this is my kind of nigga. Like when I just seen how it was, even through the camera, I said, damn, the world need more rappers like this. I just felt the realness. I can't really explain. I was like, damn, and then I get back to Kansas City, went over to Lawrence, Kansas, and Topeka, Kansas, and 2 weeks later, prior to that, is when I met the nigga. And I was like, what? The people that was bringing him over, they didn't even know he was a person. They thought Nipsey Hussle they thought it was a group. And I was like, no, that's a person. No, y'all, no. It's like, he's from somewhere. They didn't really know about him like that. I'm like, nah, man, nah. I'm staying right here. He walked in. I was like, that's him. That tall motherfucker walked through the door. I said, that's him. It was crazy, man. He had that main chain, that long ass gold chain that he always wear before he got all those other chains.
The Malcolm X tees.
That big old long ass chain, boy. And I was like, damn. And we talking, and he just was cool. But he didn't seem scary or none of that shit. There was a lot of niggas start coming in around, and one of the niggas I knew kind of said something crazy to him, and he was ready to get at him like, nah, nigga, cuz we won't take no losses. I was like, he was just real. Like, I'm like, cause I don't even think they had no guns or none of that. Like, it was just them 3 or 4. It was all of us, and the way he loped up on dudes so fast, he went from humble to get ready to get it into it. I could just see it. I was like, yeah, he's real. I could feel that in it. I'm like, he'll flip. He'll go from cool, but he'll flip. He ain't taking that. He's a stand-up guy. He's not a back-down person. I love them kind of people. That Pac spirit, I love it. But anyway, but yeah, that's what I detected from him.
Yeah, because I was asking was Black Sam with him because we knew when we saw we knew Nip was with the shit, but we found out that Black Sam, because we thought Black Sam was a quiet one, and then we found out Black Sam was like
a video game cat.
For real? Yeah, I never met Sam. That's crazy.
That's his brother. Yeah, that's his brother. You know, Sam.
I know who he is. I just never met him. Yeah.
Yeah. But then we found out like both of them Ashigum boys was like really with it. You know, it's like they look the 60s ain't raised no punks. You know, and shout out to Crenshaw. You know, 60th Street. You know that they rep, man. I mean. But,
yeah, I know about them Rolling 60s. I knew about Rolling 60s back in Kansas City, though, way back in the day when I was a kid. I heard about this shit way, way, way back. I heard about it when people didn't even know about it, because I always stayed connected with people, OGs from different places. I was telling everybody who they didn't even know what I was talking about. I was going back to school telling kids about it, so they didn't know what I was talking about. And I barely knew what I was talking about, but they definitely didn't know. Well, yes, I always knew about the Rolling 60s. Rolling 60s, I always knew about that gang. You know what I'm saying? I always knew about it. So even when I heard that he was from that gang, I was like, yeah, he got to be something. Coming out being a rapper, repping them, you got to be something. They ain't going to just let you rep them like that and not be, not been put no work in or nothing. So,
Yeah. And
I checked his files. I checked a lot of people in LA. They said, yeah, he really was shooting and stuff. He really was involved in some activities. I'm like, damn, okay. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what he said last time of that check, he was like, man, bang on the whole set. I ain't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Man, we missed Nip, man.
The sad part about it is, you want to hear something crazy? Here's the saddest part about in my world with the Nipsey thing. I left Kansas City the day Nipsey Hussle died. I swear to God, I was packing up the U-Haul, had the Audi on the back of the truck, and I got the call from one of my homegirls in L.A. A Japanese girl. She was like, "They got your boy. They got him." Like, I didn't even believe it. And then she was like, yeah, they shot him. Then she called back and said, yeah, he's dead. First she was saying he was shot up. They didn't know if he was dead or not. She called right back like, yeah, he's dead. I'm like, and I literally left my house that night. And most people don't do this. I left at 11 o'clock at night in a U-Haul with the Audi on back. Drove all the way to Vegas. Who leaves their house at 11 o'clock at night? I just left. I was gone. That was it. But see, what's so fucked up is a part of my mental plan for moving out west, I was going to start going to L.A. and locking in. They said he's always there at the store. I was going to start locking in with him.
Yeah.
Because he gave me his number years ago, and he told me to stay in touch. And he was like, we're going to see each other again. And all. He told me to call him and stay in touch with him. My dumb ass didn't even call him. I called him like one time. We talked another time on the phone. That was it. Man, I had the nigga's number and everything. Never called.
And, that's something I think just in general, not to, but just keeping it real because this is real life. 2020 alone has shown us how fast things can change. And and I can say this from personal experience. I don't want to get too emotional about it. Going back to last year, I've lost damn near 12 relatives, and friends. So it's and I just lost a good friend of mine about a month ago, a friend of mine. Girl I used to, rock with some years back, back in June, she passed away and I didn't even know. And I said that to say that you never know. For all our listeners out there, your family, your friends, if you got good relationships, and even if there may be some funk there between y'all,
life is short, man. You know, you just never know. You know, if it's a situation that can be worked out to a degree, call that person, go see them. You know, tell them you love them. You know, just stay in touch with people because you just when Nip, you know, because me and King, we like, you know, King had hit me with it last year when it happened. You know, he had posted it up. And I was like dumbfounded because, and it was shocking because I followed Nip for a lot of years. A lot of people don't know that with Sony, that was his first deal, but it didn't work out. So Nip ended up doing the latter
so look,
part.
That makes sense. That's why the dude from Sony told me that. Okay, it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Sony was his first deal, but it didn't work out. So Nip, so when Nip it didn't work, and things happen in the industry, we know. So that's when Nip started going back to the independent grind in terms of doing what he did. I was so happy for him with all money in when he signed with Atlantic because Nip already. This is the one thing people did not understand about Nip, unless you really followed his movement from the beginning. Nip was already a millionaire before he signed his deal. Nip already was moving merchandise. He was doing all of this independently in terms of his music. So he, money-wise, Nip had been good for years in terms of and especially with a Marathon store. He had all of this in place before he signed his deal with Atlantic, which was a joint deal. So I guess it was about 50-50 split. Atlantic gave him the resources in terms of pressing and distribution, you know, for him to get out there. But if you were listening to Slauson Boy 1 and 2, if you were listening to the Marathon, if you were listening to Mailbox Money years before, I mean, the stuff Nipsey did was so legendary. I mean, Jay-Z with the Crenshaw mixtape, he bought 100 copies of it just to show how much he appreciated that man's work ethic. Jay-Z buys 100 copies of your CD. That's 100 copies right there. That's solidified. Yeah.
Yep, I know.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, man, but I mean,
but you know, flipping the gear for a minute, we want to talk about your debut album, man. Your first album, working with Armed Criminals Action. It came out like with 98.
Oh shit! Yeah. Look, y'all really been doing y'all work. Damn. Hell yeah. Yeah, that was the crazy. I think that was the funnest album ever getting put out because at that point we were still active. Well, there's been times I've been active through every album, but Armed Criminal Action, it was named that for a reason. There was a lot of confrontation going on in the street. Like that's the album I'm talking about. I put Fat Tone on his first CD. There was a lot of shooting. Me and Tech Nine, it just really linked up all the way. We was doing a lot of shows, man. I mean, we was doing a lot. Me and Tech Nine was doing a lot. We was doing a lot of shows together. And just all that groupie power, all the money, you know, a lot of weed got sold to make it happen. A lot of people contribute to putting that album together. A lot of drug dealers was coming together to put their money in to help. It was just a real unified. We was doing anything we could to get that album out. I mean, we was fighting dogs. We was doing. I mean, anything we could do, you know. And a lot of stuff I can't really say, but I mean, people really contribute. I'm talking about. People took a lot of penitentiary chances to put that record together, and the thing is, I only sold about probably 8,800 copies underground, you know, but that's offhand. That's hand to hand. Almost 10,000 copies hand to hand. I saw, you know, we didn't really have stores, and then maybe the next year after that, like we had George's Music Room, like in Chicago, we sold out 19 times. We had a store in Minnesota, we sold out like 25 times. I mean, we started hitting all these regions and different stuff. It was crazy. I got on tour with Bad Boys and Def Jam out there in Hawaii, opened up for Black Rob and J.O. Felony. Y'all remember when he was? Y'all remember them? I can give it to you.
Yeah,
what?
What
you sexy for my motherfucker? Yeah, he was signed to Russell Simmons at the time.
Yeah.
You know, all that good. There's a lot of good shit, man. I'm like, I'm an underground nigga with no distribution. I'm out here on islands and shit performing it. living in. And I was getting so much feature money. You know, when you hot in certain areas, in other small towns, like just so many people was giving me money just to hang with me. People was paying me to, like rich white people was paying me to come to their mansions and just fuck their daughters. I'm saying it's a real shit. Like sounds crazy, but
whoa,
just come drink with us, come smoke with us, fuck my daughter. Hey man, come fuck my sister and her friend. I'm talking about the craziest shit you could think of. People giving us free shit, buying us clothes. I'm just crazy. Just don't even know these people. They just. It was wild, man. It was amazing. I lived a crazy ass life, man. I'm talking about people, man.
He needs to write the screenplay, and King, you need to direct the movie. All right, now we got to get Sandman the cast.
Man, it was wild, man. Hey, this shit was so wild.
I'm ready to twist film here, man. We got to get Spike Lee on the horn.
Yeah, man. I really do. You know what though? I really do believe I should be in the movie because I'm just trying. Right now, I'm not being as sarcastic as I usually be because I'm trying to keep my voice projected because the lemon and the honey's running out. Like I'm trying to keep my voice for y'all, but I'm really, I'm not really just a person who lived a gangster life. I'm a person who's fun. I'm silly, comical, all kind of shit. Like I done had a lot of fun in life too. So it ain't all just about street stuff either. It's about there's a lot of fun, man. A lot of I have to hold my tongue when I be talking. There's a lot of stuff I can't say. I have to watch what I say because there's so much I can't say.
Understood. Now, when you're talking about the debut album that you did, obviously, because a lot of artists really have to, when King said this came out in 97, this is before social media, so there's no YouTube,
No, it came out in 98, and 8 people are dead on the CD. It came out in 98, and 8 motherfuckers are dead.
I mean,
but they're gone.
The fact that, just for putting it together at that time, because like I said, obviously y'all had the skills, but a lot of these today's artists don't understand that type of hustle in terms of especially because we come from that era. We know about when you have to pay, you got to get that money up for studio time. God knows, getting a camera crew together to shoot a video where nowadays you can do it with a cell phone, and you got the computer programming for editing that you can do at home. Where back then
we didn't have none of that. We didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
And you know what? We recorded the old school way. We recorded analog, from the reel to reel, the way Michael Jackson, Prince, and Elvis and the greats record. So that's why I'm gonna tell you something.
Right.
It's funny though. That album is I still get small checks to this day from that album though. It's something about that album. I don't know. I don't know if it's the spirit of what was going on, or the spirit of the dead homies. Because I done been out there. I'm gonna tell you some crazy shit. What's so crazy about that album? All them niggas is dead. I done been out on their grave, fucking bitches 3, 4 in the morning. I done been out there drinking, smoking, fucking bitches on their grave. Like, nigga, you still here? I'm doing this shit for you. I done stuck CDs. If they loved ones that they think I'm lying, they can go to their grave and dig around the grave right now, and you're gonna find an armed criminal action CD. I done planted in their fucking grave, and I done conjure these niggas up from the grave. Like, keep me protected, keep me alive, keep the drive in me, keep the spirit of this music in me. There's CDs in these niggas' graves, and they family don't even know about it until now. That's how real I am with this shit.
And the thing is, too, is it's not like you're desecrating it. Because the thing is, when you have that type of bond, and people have to understand it, your homies want you to go, like they say, if something happens, it's always a situation, you want the spirit to go on. It's like, don't stop because I'm gone. You got to make this work for all of us because this is what, especially at that time, when you talked about all the entrepreneurs, the business people, the various, sources of income that went into financing a project. So we know from the block how this goes, and especially back in the day. An independent album.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough, man.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
We had to get the burnt CDs, sell the burnt CDs, sell all the weed, then go to the studio, record the shit, and try to figure out how to get it mixed and mastered. Pay so much for the artwork, get that shit shrink wrapped. I mean, because my thing is, one thing about me, all my albums, I've never did like the burnt CD in the little sleeve thing, and I ain't knocking nobody's shit, but when I presented my CD to a star or whoever, I had a real CD with barcodes, with the UPC barcodes, all that shit, way back then. So I went through the whole process.
Now,
writing poems on the inside of that motherfucker, everything.
Right.
You said what?
How important is it? Because a lot of times artists, you know, they are so, you know, we talk about this all the time. So many artists get caught up in the image of trying to project a certain display of wealth and ostentatiousness, but they don't put it into the quality of the visuals. I mean, obviously you all were blinging, so I mean, this was not a situation y'all had to look the part because you were the main event, you know. Y'all the main event. So, but how important is it in terms of presentation, in terms of having all the nuances? I mean, having a photographer, you know, having a designer, you know, having, like they say, an art director.
You know,
just go ahead.
You know what? You as big as you make the world believe. You as big as you can show. You know what I mean? It's almost like that fake it till you make it situation for the people that's coming up or whatever. But you gotta invest in your craft and your looks, your image, all that, because the money attract money. You can spend all your money on looking good, and then somebody just give you some damn money because you look so damn good. I mean, you know, whether it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, money attract money. If you look like you that guy, they're gonna treat you like that. You know, I done had people give me cars and stuff for free. And I had a motherfucker give me. You say what now?
I said, oh wow. I mean, like.
Yeah. Twice. One time a person gave me a drop top IROC, and another time a person gave me, and this is a long time ago. Let me see, what year was that? The drop top was in 2001, and then in 2006 somebody gave me a Durango on 20s with the Flowmaster already in the beat, everything. Because I went down to a place called Tupelo, Mississippi. I was down in Tupelo, which is another small town, really, in the South, though. And I was selling so many CDs at the mall and signing autographs and you know, and you know, just you know, fucking all kind of girls and going crazy, just having a good time. But I was my partner down there. I was making him more money because, it don't matter. See, you could be a drug dealer, you could be a whatever, but really an entertainer overlaps all that. You could be a broke entertainer and have more girls and have more clout than a nigga that got millions. I've seen that. I've seen it. It's just because music, you know, music is that bridge between heaven and earth. You know, music is very influential. It's music. It's, you know, it's the instrument of heaven, the way I look at it. And the vibrations is different. Anyway, so I was talking to this guy on the phone when I got back to KC. He was like, man, you know, y'all rap dudes, man, y'all rich, y'all got all that money and cars. And I finally pulled him to the side, kind of talked to him on the phone. I said, you know what? I don't even own a car right now. He like, what you talking about, man? Because people start coming to his shop, getting him more money because they looking for the rap guys that came through there. You see what I'm saying? So they like, damn, what a rapper do there, you know? So I was making him more money just by being in his presence and being in his town. But I didn't even have a fucking car. Now, I wasn't broke because I'm always a go-getter. But at that moment in my life, I just didn't have a fucking car. You know what I'm saying? And so I told him that, come find out this nigga owned like 3 car lots and was balling like a motherfucker. And one day he just called me out of the blue. He was just like, hey, man, you for real telling me you got a car? I'm like, nah, I'll have one in a minute. He like, hey, man, I want you to pick between. He gave me like 7 different cars to pick from. And it was some cars I had seen in his backyard, and I was tripping on them. And he was like, he gave me which one to pick from. It was like a yellow Mustang. It was like those, you remember the old 96 Impala, those, but it was all tricked out. It was like burgundy. Then what other car was it? I can't remember all the cars, but I know it was that. I ended up picking the Durango. because I had some problems breathing that exhaust in cars, and he said he had that Flowmaster in there. It was for the exhaust system.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I picked that car. I drove down that motherfucker so fast, brought a couple of beautiful ladies down there. We hung out for a minute, and that nigga gave me that car. And not only did he give me the car, he tagged the motherfucker up for me, and then got insurance for a month because he's like, it's so precious down there, I might not get out of town right in that flashy car with no insurance. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, what do I owe you? He's like, nothing, man. Just keep doing that fucking music. I'm like, God damn, this rap shit. Can you imagine if I was major? Oh my God. You know
what they say, Stinky. I mean, you know what they say. You know, when you have that certain swag or that image, like they say, you know, you get for free what regular people got to pay for. You know what I mean? That's true. I mean, branding is everything because, you know, when you look, you know. Oh, and by the way, we're loving having you on the show. I mean, this is one of the best shows we've ever done.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you're dealing with a lot of these celebrities, you know, who you know, whether they be, you know, whomever. I mean, when you see these Rolexes or these Gucci shoes or suits, you know, some of the stuff these women have, I'm like, a lot of this stuff they don't pay for. This is stuff that is given to them by these stores for brand equity, because it's like you know, the Hermes store. They probably send Cardi B stuff all the time just so she may have it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, when you got a name and your name is synonymous with that establishment because you are a patron of their product, they're like, yo, we can give, you know, Cardi a $800 purse. We can give, you know, Louis Vuitton store can give, you know, Rick Ross a $10,000 luggage set because they know with the branding of it, they're going to get that 100 times over. They're going to get that 100 times over back. They be like, yo, what they ask for, I mean, so you've seen it from a perspective of experience, how just being there, how having a name, and the thing is, you were not a grifter, and I want our listeners to know that because you put in a hustle to where like they say, if you put in the work, no matter what profession you are in, if you put in the work and you were honest and you were real with it, you're going to reap rewards off of it, whether big or small, because someone's going to see what you put into it.
Yeah,
you know, so
I feel like I've been to a hip hop college, man. It's time for me to graduate. I feel like I put in that work, and I wake up every morning. I kind of feel something. I don't want to really expose it like that, but something's about to happen. Something so big is about to happen for me that I'm not even gonna believe it. I'm ready to achieve it, but I don't even think I'm probably all the way mentally expecting it. It's scary. Something real unexpected is Gary bust for me, and that's why I had to get out of Kansas City. I said, you got to go where the money is, like a place like Vegas, an international place, because I travel all the time. I got tired of traveling. If I could just stay still and start to build, this is international. Everybody comes to Vegas. People I done met all over the world, they come to Vegas. I don't give a fuck if you're from London, Japan, Moscow, France. You coming to Vegas one of these summers, and I'm right here.
I went to Vegas with my parents. I went to Vegas about 9 years ago. For our listeners out there, if you're from there, you already know. Of course, shout out to Yalda MMG. You know, shout out, to that whole crew, man. You know, it's like shout out to his manager Makisha. You know, Lady M. Shout out to my man Marcus Aurelius of Body Magazine, who, great independent black magazine publisher, one of the greatest,
he's here in Vegas?
Photographers I know. Yeah, Mark. Yeah,
he's here in Vegas.
Yeah, they both live in Vegas. Yeah.
You got to put me on, man. You got to put me on with these people, man.
We'll do. We'll
talk about it.
We'll talk about that also. Yeah. So one thing, but when I went to Vegas, for our listeners that have never been to Vegas, the money is real out there.
I mean,
yeah, it is.
One place you got to go, Caesar's Palace Mall. For our listeners, if you've never been there, go to Caesar's Palace Mall. The Nike store, the Louis Vuitton store. This is how real Vegas is. When you touch down at McCarran International Airport, they have a Rolex store at the airport, and a slot.
Yeah, and plenty of gambling.
Yes, they do.
You can gamble at the airport.
They got anything you want, and if you got the money, Vegas has your vice. Whatever you want, it is nice. So, I mean, but yeah, man, but Vegas is a spot where, you know, you can definitely, you know, make your stake out there. Oh, and for all y'all credit card senders, they got the Chase Bank out there too, so you can make your payments to Chase Bank. You ain't got to mail it off. That's another great thing. Just so y'all know about how y'all can pay y'all bills. You know, so but yeah, man. I mean that's. I mean, more than anything, I mean, you've done so much. You've met so many people. I mean, you know.
Oh, I want to say something else too. I don't, because y'all on the East Coast. I don't want to cut you off. But so this is what happened. So I was in the 2015 Hip Hop Weekly magazine. I know y'all familiar with that magazine. So they had me. I had a full page article. I had a full page article in the Hip Hop Weekly magazine, and so I had put my email on that motherfucker. And all these niggas, you know, I didn't realize how many people in jail get that magazine. Now, the owner of the magazine, they told me that they pressed up 100 million copies of this magazine. I don't know if it was cap or not, but goddamn, that's a lot of copies. And that's so it was in everywhere. I mean, Price Choppers, 7-Elevens, you know, CVS's, all the jails. I mean, it's all over the world, any state. I was getting emails from so many prisoners in so many different states. But you know what? I believe I could have made over $1 million, and I could have blew up. You know what happened? When they was trying to order my CDs, I didn't have the jail distribution. Nobody in jail could get my music. But I had the perfect promotion.
But that's not necessarily your fault, though, because in terms of certain correction departments, because in certain correction departments and because a lot of correctional facilities, there's two things. It can be up to the warden in terms of what they set, or it can be up to the state mandate of what it is. A lot of people have to understand this because certain things are contraband, like, you know, a record store that I go to out here, you know, the only thing that they can do for their jail distribution is gospel CDs. That's the only thing that they can give, you know, to them, you know, in terms of what they're allowed to do. Well,
there's some good news. I got a small breakthrough this year. They got me in about 52 different prisons, and it's in a book called The Walk It Horse. It's a prison book. It's in federal and state. Then they got me in another thing called Turning Key. And they just put like about 140 songs on there. So if anybody out there listening, you know, I'm starting to be in those jail facilities. Sorry, we couldn't get the music to y'all, you know. And I tried to read as much emails as I could, you know. So shout out to the people locked up.
Yeah, and when they would talk about Hip Hop Weekly, when they talk about 100 million, the average magazine circulations on the high end is around 500,000, and that's on the high end in terms of if you really have a million is if you got 1 million circulation in terms of a monthly publication or a weekly publication, you killing it. 500,000 is huge. I think with XXL and Source Magazine, when they were doing their print, and they still do, I think XXL and Source, two of the greatest hip-hop publications ever, I think at the peak, the Source had like a 300,000 worldwide circulation.
I would love to be in Rolling Stones. For some reason, I keep just wanting to be in Rolling Stones, and I really don't know what the magazine's about, but I just want to be in Rolling Stone magazine. I don't know why.
Rolling Stone, look, Stink, if you get in Rolling Stone, no matter what genre you are, no matter who you are, if you get into Rolling Stone, you could get. Me and King, Sandman, and Chinchilla, for what we do, if we get in Rolling Stone, nigga, we made it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Rolling Stone is like big if you get into Rolling Stone because that's music based, but that's like a brand. You get in there, you did something, and it was good.
Yeah. yeah.
Yep. But I mean, but more than anything, in terms of it, what advice would you give to a lot of young artists coming into the game, understanding about, because this show with legends such as yourself, because we always pride ourselves that we will interview anybody as long as the music is good. We don't care if you got 1 million followers. We don't care if you have 100 followers. And we've interviewed legends. We've interviewed people who are up and coming. And for a lot of times, just in general, for a lot of young artists and up and coming artists out there, the reality is this game can be hard. Not everybody's going to win. What do you say to a lot of the up and comers about how to mentally prepare yourself in terms of winning and if you do lose in it?
I would say you have a better chance at winning if you just be you, because every human being is original. So you probably want to dig deep down into yourself and find out who am I? Who are you? Don't try to be like the next person. Be you, because even women, even the world's looking for originality, creativity. So it's always something about you that's different from the rest of the people, and don't ever let nobody tell you can't do it. You believe it, you can achieve it. You hold it in your brain, you can hold it in your hand. Thoughts become things. Learn the power of manifestation. Speak it into existence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Visualize it. Become one with the feeling of how it feels as if you was already famous. And if it don't work, just have fun doing it. Just have a motherfucking good time trying.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
That's all I can say right now. My boy's trying to go out.
It's okay. We look, but one thing about it is that I think a lot of times with a lot of artists, because no matter where you're from, because everybody, especially as this thing we were birthed into, hip hop, we're all children of it, is we have seen it, and it has that tree has extended. A lot of people get into feelings of, what they feel as if they say, well, niggas is hating because, I can't win, or, and sometimes there's some situations people become bitter because they didn't make it. But my thing is, too, also, like you said, you got to have a good time with it, and also, too, a lot of artists have to understand this coming in. There is a difference between, shout out to Rusty Jux we had on, a couple years back. And Rusty said one of the greatest things that I've ever heard. Nobody can ever stop you from what you're trying to do. But there are situations where, as an artist, you got to see where your audience is. And if you if you really don't have an audience, it's not me trying to destroy someone's dream. I would tell them, listen, there's a difference between you just having, you having abundant talent and haven't had an outlet, and when you have the outlet and just people are not responding to it, and I tell anyone, don't let your ego get in the way of understanding where your presence is with the audience. Either people are rocking with you or they are not. And it's not their fault. Yeah, that's not necessarily their fault.
I want to share a little. I want to.
Go ahead.
I want to share a little story too.
Please.
Something that happened in Atlanta. I could have been a star. I wasn't going to share this, but I feel like this happened to a lot of people, or will happen to a lot of people in the industry, or trying to get in the industry. I went to a big meeting. I don't want to call no names. I went to a real meeting with the real people. These are people that they claim to. They say these people are so big. They give the record. The record labels ask them for money. They so big. So I'm at this big table with these people, and the first thing they say to me, if you homophobic, leave the room. Leave the meeting. Now, I didn't leave the meeting because I just wanted to hear how far this crazy shit went. But they start telling me crazy things, and one dude pulled me to the side. you come spend the night with me. And I had to stop myself from punching him. But I said, let me, I was already warned about this kind of stuff, the gay activity in the industry. But I just wanted to see, was it really, really real, some of it.
Right.
And so he said to me, you come spend the night with me, and in 3 months, I'll have you on TV. You don't know who I am. I turned down the offer. I joined the meeting, but I didn't join the party, if you feel me. And I didn't feel no kind of way because I stand for something. Especially the way I was brought up. I'm not. If that's how you are in this world, I don't knock no kind of. But I'm straight like Indian hair. I'm 100% man, and I love women. That's not my thing. But I was like, I could have been famous if I would have went that route.
And I got to say this too. I know, we got a little time left, but I got to say this too because I think Stinky, we got to put this out there. We have to say this before the hoteps start running stupid with this. Number one, first and foremost, no hoteps. This is not some big discovery about gay activity in the entertainment industry. This is not some clandestine Illuminati plot. No, it is not. I will say it again. This is not no clandestine Illuminati plot. This is just about human nature with people who are in authority positions who have the authority to make those decisions. So this is not anything new, in terms of, the situation. And that I had to say that because you get people who try to run around and act like they know more than everybody else, like, trying to say, like you ain't, like you won't actually, in the midst of all of this because you actually saw it face to face. So we're getting it from we're getting it from the source.
Especially with these cats, with literally, and this is what's going on now, because we're getting more out there. But these niggas start taking clips of our shows and uploading it on their channel, and not even crediting us, and yet they want to sit there and be like, "Yo, man, the Illuminati told you about this. This is going down." I'm like, nigga, we ain't rephrasing it like this. Why you taking my clip, number one?
Exactly. Look,
number two, you ain't even ask me.
We can't stand them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like,
we can't
stand you know what?
Yeah.
I also want to, I ain't mean to cut you off. I'm just trying to get it. But with me, I try to get in as much promotion. So let me tell the world about, I also got a podcast too. So I got the Mr. Stinky's podcast, and I'm not the best at it, but I do be having some good topics, and and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's serious, but I teach you a lot about health on there. Because I was following the Dr. Sebi movement and all that kind of stuff. And I know a lot. I've been studying health for about the last 11 years. So I actually know a lot of stuff that people who think that they know about health don't know. And I know a lot about a lot of weird roots and herbs and remedies. And so the Mr. Stinky podcast, I actually go through Anchor Podcast or whatever. But just check it out when you get a chance, Mr. Stinky podcast.
Okay. Hey, we would love to be a guest up there to chop it up with you.
Hell yeah. We can do that in a couple of weeks. Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I'm serious. Y'all pick the topics and we going to run with it. And my voice be back. When my voice get back, I'll be talking more too. I ain't really talking like I usually do. I usually talk fast and talk a lot. I'm trying to make sure everything's coming in clear. But when I get on my podcast, I go. I'll be on there clowning. So,
not a problem.
Yeah.
But what you were saying earlier, Stinky, about the industry, like I said, and I'm strong, and I feel strongly about that because I get tired of a lot of people trying to throw conspiracy theories and things out there. Because my thing is, do things exist out there that we don't know about? Sure they do. But my thing is, don't speak on it if you ain't been there to know about it. But the entertainment industry. But we know we have seen situations with artists. We this is off the cuff. We keep it real, but we don't intentionally go out to insult or hurt anybody's reputation. We only speak on things that have been put out there publicly. But when you talk about the situations with certain artists who people have said, who are gay or this, that, and the other, it's like, I'm like, that's why I laugh when I see a lot of these, hoteps talk about it, because I'm like, this stuff's been going on. I'm like, when you look at the old Hollywood, when you look at Rock Hudson, when you look at Dick Sargent, Robert Reed, all those Hollywood guys back in the day. Those guys were gay in the film industry, and of course it was going to go into music. We've heard stuff And I mean, what you said is, consistent with stories, that I know out here in VA, a good friend of mine worked and did a lot of stuff within the industry, and he told me about a lot of these things with some of these people, how they, they're going to try to get you into some compromising positions, but the trade-off is you become famous. And, the reality is the casting couch in the industry is real. It's really no different than anything else.
Yeah.
Black people, obviously, were what we, how, some of us may feel about, the homosexual lifestyle. I'm not gay myself, but I have no problem with gay people,
Yeah,
me
either.
I
don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. That ain't my, that's God's job.
Yeah,
I ain't doing God's job. God can judge people. I don't do that. I only judge people how they treat me.
Yeah. But that is something. Do you think a lot of times some artists get out there in the way of they get so determined to be famous that they will sell their soul to do it? In terms of it, I mean, what have you seen in the most self-destructive aspects of other people in terms of how they let the industry chew them up and spit them out because they couldn't control themselves in it?
I don't want to speak on it.
You don't have to. We're not asking you to give names. We're not asking you. Just things you've seen.
They would. If I said what I want to say, I think people would know who I was talking about. But
If anybody wanna hear that, they gotta pay that $49.99 because that $49.99 that could pay for protection, that could pay for not being blackballed, all that shit.
It's getting spooky. Look, the conversation done got spooky, man.
We just tell them, look, you want to hear that? We'll put on Mr.Stinky Part 2, the pay-per-view version. Let y'all pay that $49.99. And we'll drop from there.
Yeah, I might spill. I might spill a little tea for a little, for a little fee. Might spill a little tea, but no, it's all good, man. Yeah, I don't want
room to cut the check.
Cause I'm like, I feel like I'm on my way up, and I don't want to tear nobody down on my way up.
Understood.
Right, man. But we gotta wrap this thing up shortly,
some people
because they gave me the okay, like wrap this up. So. You have anything you want to promote right quick, my man? Like, let us know where you have any new music coming.
You know what's so crazy? Today's a good day because y'all doing an interview today, but I actually came out with a song today. I came out with a single today. The name of the single is Paper Making Sensation. It just dropped this morning. So that's crazy. The interview hit. I think the universe is working in my favor. Make sure y'all check out that animation video, No New Friends. The Mr. Stinky's Ganja video coming out probably in the next couple of weeks. That's all I really want to say, man. Mr. Stinky coming at you live like a bullet.
Okay.
Yes, indeed, man. We appreciate you joining us, brother. And this interview is definitely going to be
I had a blast.
This week.
I'm going to get back with you next week, too, so we can talk about the podcast. Y'all stay up.
Okay, bro.
All right, blessed.
All right, y'all be safe out there.
Definitely.